Percy!
Happy sock!
I got the results for the sweet root vote.
You did too! I got them too!
Amazing, amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Shall we wait until the end of this video?
Of course we're going to wait until the end of this video.
Yeah, that's the way to go.
Mm-hmm.
So, I was wondering, looking at all of these things that are just floating here in nowhere, where does the inventor get his stuff from? Like all of his materials, his building projects, like where does the stuff come from?
Yeah, you mean like he's on a floating island. Where does he get this stuff? Yeah, I suppose we're kind of in the middle of space, maybe?
Space, yeah. Well, how does the inventor get into space?
With a rocket ship.
Percy, I'm gonna be real with you. I am not sure if I can pull off a rocket ship.
Okay, well, then we make space come to him. How does that sound?
Yes, that sounds fantastic. I think the connection here would be some observatory.
Yeah, that sounds great. You can observe and the things go to it. Yeah, I think that works. Hello everyone and welcome back to Cogs and Clouds. That intro that you just saw has been recorded a couple days ago, and since Happy Sock has been really busy making the observatory. Now before I go ahead and show it to you all, I do recommend that you go ahead and watch her video on where she made it. The link will be in the description. So this here is your spoiler warning. I am going to show it in 3, 2, 1, and there it is over there actually. Now one thing you may notice, we have 2 of them. We're going to ignore that one for now. That one is not going to be part of the map. We'll talk about that one in just a little bit. In fact, before we talk about either of those, I want to address something else. We upgraded here to 1.21.6 and look at what the fog is doing for our map. Everything looks so much better just with a little bit of fog that we've got over here. It is so incredibly cool. Look at that. The new fog in this update is incredible and I really love it. Okay, let's talk about this one then. So this here is the observatory. This is, as we mentioned, how the inventor gets his materials. Obviously, the inventor just lives on this really big floaty island and, well, the materials have to come from somewhere. Now, right in this observatory is where we're going to place a little mini game. And the mini game is going to let you, the player, get materials. So the way that this is going to work, the way that you get up there in the first place, oh boy, from down here that thing looks so big. I love how that looks. There's a little parkour over here, and it's a fairly easy parkour. I have managed to do it multiple times now. As you can see, I'm not really having a lot of difficulty. There's a little tricky bit that you need to know, that you go over there and then over here. And then look at that, just in one go, I made it. And I can walk into the observatory. Now what we have over here, all of this is already kind of part of the mini game, as you will see later on. What we've got over here is a lens, and the idea is that with this contraption, the inventor sort of gets space whoop into this entire area. And that is where the duplicate behind me comes in. We want this entire area to be dark so that it gives you the sense that you're in space. And so we have a duplicate of it over here, which, as you can see, if I just break in a little bit, this is entirely dark. This is where it's actually going to happen the entire game. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a structure for this, a structure file, so that we can load it. And essentially when the game is active, the minigame, it will replace that one over there. And so that will give the illusion that you've actually gotten space into the observatory over here. Now I'm super excited about this project in particular. The observatory is something that Happy Sock and I have talked about for so long already. We really wanted to do this. Now down here we have a bit of a kind of workplace for the inventor. We have a control panel, and this is where it's going to be activated from. And while I am at it, I do kind of want to have a little peek to see if we have enough space. Yes, we do. We need to manage to hide a command block in here somewhere, but I think we'll be able to do that. I think the only thing is we'll just have to move this from up the table to there, and I think that will be fine. But I'm just keeping it. we'll work on that later. So I think we have a proper plan for this. Let's get to work on this game. Now, before I actually make it so that it replaces this entire thing, you might know in the past I have kind of broken this map a couple times already. Just while we're working on it, I'm going to have it not replace this structure, but instead I'll teleport the player into over there, just for while we're working on it. But it does mean that I need to know how many blocks difference there is. I should land in the exact same space, only in the other one over there. Oh, look at that, that works. Okay, cool. And of course the other way around as well. Oh, isn't that cool? First things first. I need to know who is inside this sphere pretty much at all times. So I need to figure out first of all the center point. And from there, and I think it's pretty easy to find the center point, by the way. There's that over there, that's the center. And I think it should be that level over there. And then once I have the center point, I can have a radius detect who's inside that radius. Now the big reason I need to know who's inside here is, of course, I think that would be the center. Because I only want anything that happens inside this minigame to affect the people that are actually inside. So if I am right about this, there should be a piece of stone in exactly the center point here. And I don't know, it kind of is looking like that's the case, so that's good. Now, something I like to do when I'm testing whether someone is in or outside a specific area is I set up a little test function to just say in chat when I'm inside the area, and it says out in chat when I'm outside there. Let's quickly reload this. Now I have a recipe, reload this. Now you can see I'm inside the area. And I haven't really set it up properly. I just set a distance of 16. I don't even know how far that is, but oh, there you go. We're just outside it now, as you can see. So obviously it needs to be a little bit bigger. This seems to be perfect for this door at least. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Okay. But it needs to be everywhere in this sphere that I need to detect it. And that might be an issue. Because this isn't entirely a sphere. Yes, there we go. This sticks out a little bit. I guess we're just going to have 3 detection points. One is going to be the center that we're currently using. And then one in the top to just cover this little area. And one down here to cover that area down there. And in case you're wondering why when we're up here it's outside, it's because this isn't a perfect sphere. There's actually a little extra something on top over there. And at the bottom as well, as you can see. And so now I figured out all the numbers I need to know to figure out who's inside at all times. What we've got is it will say in or out, and then main, up, or down. And main, of course, is the main big one. And then up is from over there, and down is for figuring it out over there. And you will notice while we're inside here, there's always at least one that is going to be in, and some of them have overlap. So up and main have some overlap here, but over here they don't anymore. And the same goes for down. Now up and main and down, they have some overlap, but over here it's only down. The short version of this is I always know now who's inside here. Now I need to see if I can hide a command block in here. I can. Anyway, I did set up that function to work. If I flick it, nothing happened. Uh-oh. Wait, does redstone not go through? Where can I test this? Oh, redstone does not go through observers. Okay. Well, learn something new. We cannot use an observer there then. Maybe we'll just do a redstone lamp, because it's a clear indicator that something is active. And I think this one does connect energy. Yeah, it does. Okay, perfect. Look at that, it works. And now we have it for the other side as well. So now that we have the switch for essentially toggling space on and off, we can actually get started on the game mechanics. Now, of course, when we go there, it's going to be super really dark. And well, the idea is we are in space, and I figure one really good way to sell it. Uh-oh, I think there's a mistake over here. One really good way to sell it is, what if we just had really low gravity? How does that sound? How cool is this? Look at that. Whee, I'm floating. I'm floating through this space. So now you can see what these platforms are for. They allow you to jump from platform to platform, which I think is really cool. I'm Mary Poppins, y'all. I'm noticing there's light coming through here. I should talk to a happy sock about that, because I'm not sure that's the intention. The whole reason we had those lanterns down here is because they should give the light. For now, I'm just going to get rid of it by doing it like this, I think. Because it looks better. Yes, I do think this is much better, but I'll have to talk to Happy Sock about it. And you can still see everything, it's just really, really dark. Now, of course, it's really dark for a reason. Obviously, this is meant to be space, but also we're going to have certain things floating around in here. Remember when we said the Inventor is going to get materials from here? Well, those materials are mainly glowstone. We figured this is a really good sort of stardust that you can get in space. And then the glowstone itself will be used to craft up other items that we'll get to in a later video. So now we have the following issue. I would like the glowstone to also be floating, just like we're floating right now. Now, I don't think it's possible, but just on the off chance, let's try it. Let's just see if this works. No, we cannot do that. Okay, that's annoying. So I suppose we can have it on an armor stand, and the armor stand can have the low gravity. Can we still pick it up? We can still pick it up that way, that's good. And it can be invisible as well. And we can make it smaller. Can we make it a marker? We can. Okay, that's good. Now I want to try something. We kind of had this idea. I'm not sure it's going to work when the armor stand is a marker. Yeah, no, that's going straight through. I don't really think the fishing rod idea is going to work in this game anyway. The space is kind of small, and with the low gravity, it does make more sense to just, you know, jump from platform to platform. It gives a better challenge as well. See if you can make it, just not from there. It adds more strategy. But the idea of letting people just fishing rod the glowstone in, that was a fun idea. Let's get this glowstone going, shall we? Okay, so I have now created an armor stand that we should summon in with this command, and it sort of worked. I instantly got the glowstone. I wasn't really supposed to be doing that. Yeah, okay, wait, give me a second. Now it's going to do it one block in front of me, and I'm still getting it. Let's try 5 blocks. Look at that. Oh. But it's not falling. Why is it not falling? Is that because it's a marker? And that one's falling. Oh, it's because it's a marker. That's annoying, but we can work with that. That's fine. It's annoying because now it's kind of a block up. But we can work with it. It's fine. It's fine. Now I've added some logic to deal with the armor stands so that we don't get random invisible armor stands everywhere. Now, once they reach the floor... Oh, this is going to take a second, isn't it? That's the thing with gravity. Oh, wait a second. I know why that is. Yep. I fixed it. It's because I'm a big dummy and I used the coordinates for the observatory in the back there, not this one that we're in right now. Trying that again. So now, once they reach the ground, they should get rid of themselves. And it's hard to see, but you can see it's no longer half up in the air. The armor stand itself is gone. Also, when I pick up the item, now the armor stand is gone as well. We should be able to see it in spectator mode, but we can't. It's no longer here. And just to be sure, there you go, it doesn't exist anymore. It is now, once again, a couple days later. I have taken a tiny little break off of this project. And that is very simply because I cannot come up with a good way, at least not one that I'm satisfied with, to randomize the location of the glowstone that's going to be falling down. Like, there are a bunch of built-in Minecraft mechanics that I would normally use, like the spread players command, but in this context that simply will not work. So I've also considered doing something very, very complicated and far too clever for its application, which would have to do with generating random numbers. That would be the coordinates, but for within this sphere. That way you can get a pretty good random location, but even that, I don't think it's going to work really well here. And so I'm left with my backup plan, but I'm really not a big fan of my backup plan. My backup plan involves picking some very random spots from in the sphere here and just setting those as set coordinates and then having it pick a random one from each of those every time it spawns one of the glowstones. And so I've been thinking about this quite a bit, and maybe at this point I should just bite the bullet and go and implement that solution. And as you can see, I have now done that, and I'm actually really happy with it. I'm really happy with it. It looks really cool. I'm not sure about the frequency. I just filled in a random number for when it spawns, but maybe it's a little too frequent, but we can tweak that. Look at that. This is kind of cool, isn't it? And then imagine having the low gravity. You know what? Let's actually grab the low gravity real quick. Give me a second. Okay, yeah, okay. If I'm looking at it now, I think this is a little too easy and a little too random, I think. There's not much strategy to it. It's just you jump around hoping you get it. Whereas what I'm hoping we can achieve is more you're going to go look for them. Like, oh, there is one there. I need to get to it. And then you can't, or you can, whatever. There should be a little more strategy to it than right now. I feel like it's just jumping around and hoping you get a bunch. Might be fun as well, by the way. Now, all the tweaking and all that testing is going to have to happen a little bit later when we have the map further developed. Oh, hey, I got something. As of right now, we don't really have a good strong sense yet of how many materials the player is going to need, and therefore how to balance this game out a little bit. And so most of the tweaking is going to happen later on. For now, let's see if we can just not break this map and all the hard work that Happy Sock put into it. Now it's time that we actually get both of these as structure files so that we can properly swap them back and forth. Alright, so here's the deal. We don't actually have to make a schematic for the entire thing. Take this orange cog, for example. It's identical over there and it sticks out. We can just make the schematic from over here and not include this bit. And the same goes for the top over there and this side. And there's probably some stuff at the bottom as well. So really, we only have to copy the parts that have the skulk in. But it will need to have to be exact, of course. And by exact, I mean it needs to be exact the same on this one as it is on that one. Because if not, you're going to get gaps in it. And we, of course, do not want that. So what I'm doing now is I'm starting to sort of map out where we need to place the structure blocks. And I think that should be all right. We're gonna test this. It'll be fine. We need some structure blocks over here. And then over on the other one, we should be able to just click detect. And then we should get a good frame here. And I'm already noticing that that's not quite right. That's supposed to be part of it too. Uh-oh. And the same goes over here. For the top, it's alright. And for the bottom, it's hard to tell. But it looks to me it's fine as well. So that is something that's really good to know. For both of these, we'll have to change them a little bit. And so now we do the same for this one. And it looks like it's detected it. And I think we've done it all perfectly fine. Yeah, no, I think we're all in the clear here. Which means that I'm not going to save all of these by hitting save. Then, of course, for this one as well. But then we're going to make a really good backup of this world. And then I'm going to see if I can, you know, not break all of this. It'll be fun. Now, for those of you who don't know, when you place structures in the world, like what I'm about to do, they always place from the lower northwest corner. And that, you can see, is over here, right? That's north, that's west, this is the lower northwest corner. What I'm not so sure about is whether it will place it from the actual block, which would mean it would be placed from here, or from just a little bit outside, which would be from here, I think. But this makes most sense to me. So we're going to try that first. And if that one doesn't work, well, I guess we'll figure that one out really fast. I suppose there's no time like the present. Let's just try it. So we want to place Observatory skulked here. Let's just see what happens. Oh, no, that's not in the right location. That is definitely not in the right location. What? Oh. I didn't add I didn't add the coordinates. That's on me. That's on me. That's my bad. Good thing we have a backup. All right, let's go try that one again. Try 2. So here is attempt number 2, now with coordinates. Ooh, I think I did it. I think that's pretty good. Yeah, okay. Oh, we need to go check on the inside. I think that did it. I think this is good. Oh, this is so good. Okay. Because now, and actually we can maybe do that from within here. Now we want to have the other one being placed at the same coordinates, of course. Let's see if that works. Yes! I think I did it. For some reason the ladder's falling off. Oh, and I know why. Maybe like this? Yeah, that seems to fix it. Okay, so if I've done things correctly, it should now be implemented into the data pack with all the structure files, of course, which means that we shouldn't get teleported between this one and that one, but instead we should stay exactly where we are. If we flick this lever, and this all changes, which is fantastic. That's grand. You may notice, by the way, that we added a beacon beam. The beacon beam is just a really great way for people outside to know that it's active. And then, of course, when we flick it back off... Uh-oh. Wait, what? I accidentally copied the wrong one in. It should work now. Yes, there we go. Look at that. We're all back to normal then. Oh, it doesn't get rid of this. Why not? So it turns out I still had the old coordinates in, so this, whoop, there you go. Yeah, it should reset it. Okay, cool. It triggers twice. That's fine. I can work with that. Now all that's left is just some finishing touches, having it properly activate and deactivate. Right now it's just visual. As you can see, it's deactivated, but you know, you can still see the glowstone falling down. That's not supposed to happen. We need to get rid of that one, and we need to clean up some of the stuff outside here that we created. All of that mess. And then we can have a look at the working game, which is cool, I think. And I think I have all that figured out now. Let's go have a look from where we started. Right at the start, where we started the episode, you can see how all of this is now really, really starting to come together, don't you? And without the second observatory over there, you can get a really, really good feel for how this is all supposed to look when it's all finished. Let's walk you all through it. So, of course, to get to the observatory, you have to do a little parkour over here first. And again, the parkour isn't too hard, but with the materials you can get from the observatory, eventually you'll be able to make a tool that will make it really easy to get up here. There we go. Here we are. Let's go into the observatory. Now, if you want, of course, you can jump down straight away and activate the thing. Of course, there are stairs over on the other side as well if you want. Let's go activate it. You will notice I've added some sound effects for the beacon activating. Let's hear it. I will admit the audio was a little low over there, but I think you got it. And now the game has started. And you will notice I have low gravity. No jump boost, I have very specifically low gravity. And we can see some of those glowstone things falling. Can I catch this one? I can. Look at that. And can I catch this one? Oh, I mean, of course I can. This is kind of cool. Oh, I quite like this. And what's also important to know, this machine is going to be hooked up to the distributor. Let's deactivate it for now. And the distributor is, of course, the big machine here in the main workshop. This is what stores all the energy. Now, I haven't hooked it up yet because the distributor isn't quite finished. But the idea is that this, when it's activated, it actually drains a lot of energy from the distributor. And so you're kind of on a timer, depending on how full your distributor is. It will get drained really, really very quickly. And so you really only have a short amount of time to get all the glowstone that you might need, right? And so that is another factor that's going to balance this little minigame that we created over here. Let's activate it again, shall we? I want to see it more. And now that we have this minigame up and running, it is time that we meet back up with Happy Sock to see the results of the Sweetroot poll.
Oh, am I late for the Sweetroot reveal?
You are actually exactly on time. I planted all of them. All of the brand new ones. Do you want to know which one has won?
I want to know.
Well, interestingly, with a very whopping 75%, it is actually this one. It's the orange one with the beetroot shape that has won.
It's a gorgeous Sweetroot. Look at all of them.
And actually, as it happens, I have some on me. So do you wanna give that a taste? Give it a little nibble.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go try. That's good, isn't it?
It is sweet.
So thanks everybody for voting. This was absolutely amazing.
Oh yeah, I am very, very glad to see the votes all come together in this well, farmland.
No, absolutely. And when the map is released, well, everybody can of course try it for themselves. The Sweetroots.
Yeah, you can try the Sweetroot yourself now.
Well,
soon.
Not yet. Soon enough.
Soon.
DM.
We're working on it.
Yeah. Once it's all finished, you can try the Sweetroots for yourself. Farm them over here in this amazing greenhouse. And, enjoy them, I guess. Well, thank you everybody for watching. We hope that you've enjoyed. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
See you. Goodbye.